This is John's gem number 139, drawn from the book of Revelation, chapter 7, verses 9 to 17, about the worshipping crowd. After this I looked, and there before me was a great multitude that no one could count, from every nation, tribe, people and language, standing before the throne and before the Lamb. They were wearing white robes and were holding palm brands in their hands. And they cried out in a loud voice, "Salvation belongs to our God who sits on the throne and to the Lamb." All the angels were standing round the throne and round the elders and the 4 living creatures. They fell down on their faces before the throne and worshipped God, saying, "Amen. Praise and glory and wisdom and thanks and honor and power and strength be to our God for ever and ever. Amen." Then one of the elders asked me, "These in white robes, who are they and where did they come from?" I answered, "Sir, you know." And he said, "These are they who have come out of the great tribulation. They have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. Therefore they are before the throne of God, and serve him day and night in his temple. And he who sits on the throne will shelter them with his presence. Never again will they hunger, never again will they thirst. The sun will not beat down on them, nor any scorching heat. For the Lamb at the center of the throne will be their shepherd. He will lead them to springs of living water, and God will wipe away every tear from their eyes." John sees a great crowd of the people of God, but he has a problem. Are they ordered and countable, or are there far too many of them for that? He doesn't know, so he describes them both ways. If they can be counted, how many are there? He chooses a number, and since he has to describe them, he does it in terms of the ancient people of God, the 12 tribes of Israel, though he is no longer really drawing a line between Jew and Gentile. And how many are there? He has to choose a number. So he is careful to pick a number, 144,000, which is neither too many or too few. He will not have known how many followers of Jesus there were as he wrote. So he picks a stylized number made up of products of 10 and 12. 2 12s and 3 10s multiplied together will give him what he wants, 144,000. That must have been at least 2 or 3 times as many as the number of followers of Jesus there were then. So allowing for the rapidly increasing churches, it is a number that means that no one who heard it would need to despair of being one of the chosen ones. But it is not such an enormous number that his hearers might think that they were automatically all right then, and need do no more to get their seal on their forehead. Such a number will not do today. There are far too many of us now. At least 1 more 12 and 5 more 10s to take it up to over 17 billion would now be needed to get a small multiple of the known number of Christians now in the world. So perhaps John's second picture of an uncountable number in a great multitude is the better one. And we, you and I, are somewhere in that throng. If our eyesight in heaven is much the same as it is here today on earth, we won't even be able to see the throne and the Lamb, because as comparatively late comers, we shall be so much on the edge of the throng. but we shall still get the white robe that will signify that we are counted as pure, forgiven through the blood of the Lamb, and thus partaking in his victory. Even if we're not very good singers here on earth, no matter, this praise and worship is to be spoken. Even if our voices are now old and shaky, we shall then have loud voices, rejoicing in the fact that we have been saved. We shall hear the praises of the elders and the living creatures, and although it does not say this will happen, no doubt picking up the gist of what they are saying and joining in. When John asks who are eligible to be in this great throng, he is told that they are those who have come out of the great tribulation. All sorts of fanciful theories about what the great tribulation is or will be have been proposed. We don't need to worry about it. In a throng so big, there is bound to be room for little you and little me.